What is up, everybody? This is All Things Entertaining here, bringing you the random video. And today we have the Invoked Shaddoll list that got second place at UDS Tulsa, and it was actually kind of an interesting event. This one actually, the event overall had two Shaddoll Invoked and lists make the top 8, and we're just going to go right into the deck list itself because it is quite an interesting deck list. He was playing some pretty spicy decks in the side deck and in the extra deck, so let's just go right ahead and do that. So we got 3 Shaddoll Beasts, 2 Shaddoll Dragon, 3 Shaddoll Squamata, 1 Performage Trick Clown, 3 Aliester the Invoker, 1 Naeshaddoll Ariel, 3 Reeshaddoll Wendi, and 3 Shaddoll Hedgehog. Kind of interesting. It's kind of just a mishmash of the main core Shaddoll monsters except for Falco. You're playing your standard really good Shaddoll Beast, which draws you cards, which has been played at 3 before in the past with in 2015 and 2014 when Shaddolls were at their peak. Dragon, always good removal. Squamata, just giving you extra sends to the graveyard for Shaddoll cards, as well as Hedgehog being able to search pretty much any Shaddoll monster you want. Also, it's just good for adding the Spell and Trap card when it's flip face up. It's pretty good. Reeshaddoll Wendi is actually pretty good because when it's flip face up, you just special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck and in face up or face down defense position, so it does combo out pretty well there. You're not really going to want to try to special summon it, or you're not really going to want to try to set it like this though. You kind of just want to finagle with it a bit and maybe just find some way to do it that find a way to set it on your opponent's turn, or find a way to set it elsewhere, or maybe that's not committing to an Aliester summon first. If it's sent to the graveyard, you special summon one from your. You could also special summon one from your deck and face on defense position. So you're just going to be trying to send this to the graveyard as much as you possibly can with your discard effects and stuff like that. So it's really good. Ariel, not the best card, but it is pretty good. You can special summon a banished doll monster, and then you can target 3 cards in your. It's kind of like a dancing needle for magical musketeers, but for Shaddolls, so it's really good. Alister, probably one of the best normal summons of the game right now. Just being able to invoke away, just being able to summon a Caliga is really good. It's just super strong. Caliga is actually probably one of the best invoke monsters at the current point in time. Mechaba is still a fantastic card. Purgatrio, still really good. So awesome monster lineup. Trick Clown, just your standard, it's kind of necessary. It's kind of useful. Just getting you extra summon. Also, it's a light that you could send off of Shaddoll Fusion, so it's really good that way. Onto the spells. We have 3 Allure of Darkness, 3 Pot of Desires, 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 Invocation, 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 Super Poly, and 3 Magical Meltdown. He's not playing Terraforming, which is kind of interesting to search out the Magical Meltdown, but I guess in this instance it's kind of not necessary. You're really just trying to focus on fusion summoning as much as possible, and Magical Meltdown just allows you to not. It's just kind of like a floodgate to where your opponent can't negate fusion summons. Which is definitely good. Invocation, just a really good fusion card in general. If this was for any other archetype, it would be really insane. Shaddoll Fusion, sending cards from your extra deck if your opponent controls an extra monster, is pretty good. Allure of Darkness, Pot of Desires, always good. Shaddoll Fusion, it was at 1 before, so you can see why this card was played at 3. And Super Poly is just Super Poly. We're not going to really go into the need bees of all that. Next up, we're going to talk about the extra deck. We have 1 Invoked Elysium, 1 World Chalice Guardragon Almarduke, 1 Invoked Mechaba, 2 Shaddoll Construct, 1 Invoked Purgatrio, 1 Shaddoll Apkallone. I call it Al Capone because it's funnier. 2 Winda, 1 Caliga, 1 Borrelsword Dragon, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Secure Gardna, 1 Gravity Controller, and 1 Salamangreat Almiraj. Salamangreat Almiraj is just generally decent. Link 1. If you could just open up your, you can just normal summon Aliester, link into Almiraj, and then Invocation into a Caliga or Mechaba or something like that. Gravity Controller is kind of interesting. I've been seeing this a little bit more as we talk about some of the regional deck lists a few days ago. This card allows you to just basically, when it attacks, just bounce a card to that. If it battles an extra monster zone, if it attacks a monster in the extra monster zone, it just puts it back into the deck, which is pretty good. Secure Gardna is kind of interesting. It kind of prevents you from being burned in time. It's also kind of like a battle fader in some ways, because you also take no battle damage for the rest of the turn once per turn. It's not a quick effect though, which is kind of interesting, but I guess in some cases it could be useful for not being able to be burned in time. So Cross Street, definitely being able to special summon a level 4 monster from your graveyard is definitely good. It's a great extender. Borrelsword, your OTK enabler, of course. Caliga and Winda are obviously like really oppressive in terms of like floodgate type monsters. These cards are actually kind of like the new Thunder Dragon Colossus. It's kind of interesting. Apkallone, Al Capone, just a free negate. It's pretty good. Also, Shaddoll as a Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard, and then discards a card when it's sent to the graveyard, so it's pretty good. Purgatrio, you kind of got to play it. There's a lot of people playing Ash Blossom still, and Salamangreat is still a decent deck, so you might as well play for that matchup. Shaddoll Construct, definitely your best cards, one of your best cards. It's Foolish Burial effect, especially on the top of the fact that it has a ally adjusted catastrophe effect to destroy basically anything that it wants. That special summon is pretty good. So also it also adds Shaddoll cards from your Shaddoll Spawn Traps from your graveyard to your hand. Mechaba, really good negate. Almarduke, just because it's kind of a necessary evil right now. You're kind of playing it because Spirals is still one of the best decks. We did see two topless. We saw two take the top 8 in the UDS. So you definitely want to play this card. And Elysium is actually kind of interesting. I like this card quite a bit. It's really good. Kind of underrated as an evoke card, even though it's a little hard to summon. Next, going to move on to the side deck. We got 2 Retaliating Sea, 3 DD Crow, 3 Droll and Lockbird, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 2 Lightning Storm, 3 Evenly Matched, and 1 Reeshaddoll Incarnation. Reeshaddoll Incarnation is basically just here to special summon a monster from the graveyard in face down defense position or face up defense position. It's pretty good. Evenly Matched, we've seen this card pop up more and more as people just refuse to summon a negate for this card. It's super good. It's not like you can't respond to this card like Super Poly, but it is definitely one of the best cards right now. Lightning Storm definitely making a huge showing. It's being mained, if not side decked, into every single deck that we've seen up into over the past weekend. So it is good there. Excuse me. Starving Venom, still good because there's still a lot of dark decks running around. It's also good against the Shaddoll matchup if you're facing a mirror match. Droll, because the spirals are a thing. Also, it can stop your opponent from doing other things if they add draw cards before they search, so it's pretty good. It's also good against the mirror match. You go into Aliester, then you discard this, and they can't activate their Allure of Darknesses or whatever else they're trying to search again. Or you can... you activate it on their Magical Meltdown. They can't add with their new Aliester. So, DD Crow, just a good card in general. 2 Retaliating is kind of interesting. When you activate a spell card that includes this that would special summon a monster, you special summon this card from your hand, and then if it's summoned this way, is in its face up on the field, any card that is sent to graveyard is banished for the turn. So it's pretty good. It's kind of interesting to see how it is. It actually definitely does deal with the Infernoid stuff. It definitely deals with a lot of the Shaddoll mirror matches that you could be facing. It also deals with spirals in some ways because they do some in Big Red and stuff like that. So it's definitely good. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about this deck list in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, the lists will be in the description, so that way you guys can copy paste it to your YGO Pro or Dueling Book. So anyway, this has been All Things Entertaining, signing out.